huge game then, mate, and it's, you know, first 3 seconds, we've only got a point more than them, same goal difference, and Bucky's still making them favourites to not only both win the league, but win this match as well. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I'm very surprised because you look at the form of the two sides relatively, and they've been vulnerable this season. You know, we saw them on the opening day against Tottenham, they didn't really get going, and then the Southampton game, they only had one shot on target in the whole 90 minutes, so it has been shown that City can be frustrated and can be got at, and then that was further highlighted in the week when they've lost to PSG. So there are encouraging signs there for Liverpool, and I think with the fact that this is the first real biggie that we've had with a full house since, you know, everything that's gone on, the fans are going to be up for it 100%, and I think the players will feed off that, and for me, I can only see a Liverpool win.
Yeah, it's a big shame. Like for me, like I always love talking about City and being able to say, well, you know what, they haven't come to Anfield and won since 2003 when Anelka gets the couple. Obviously now they can point to the fact that they came and won 4-1, but there's no fans there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I sort of think like we haven't beat them since 2019, and there's 2 big defeats in there. But both of those almost feel like they weren't real games. So, you know, the 4-1 at Anfield, like I say, no fans in there. And even Guardiola says himself, you know, the task is to come back here and win when the fans are in. So fair play to him for that. The other one as well, we lose heavily at their place. But it's after the title's confirmed, the first time in 30 years. So I'm not saying they're free hits, but I'm a bit like, well, I'm going to still cling to the 2003 thing. Because I'm going to say, you've never come to Anfield since 2003 in front of a full house and won. So, you know, let's see how you get on with that.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that because, as you say, you know, I think for City, the biggest test for them is doing it in front of the full house at Anfield, because we've seen over the last 5 years since Guardiola's been there, the amount of times they've shown up and they've been blown away by the atmosphere. And off air, it's almost been like a feral atmosphere, especially the Champions League nights and even the season, our last win against them when we beat them 3-1. You know, the atmosphere in the day was almost like a bear pit, and from the get-go, every touch got whistled, every mistake they made got jeered, and you know, obviously it all turns on that. You know, was it a handball? Was it? And then we ran up the other ends and scored. So for me, they're the things I cling on to. But if they were to win on Sunday, that's when I'd doff my cap and go, you know what, fair play. If you've done it, you've now done it in front of a full Anfield. Whereas that 4-1 in February, obviously we know all the circumstances around it, what was going on, not just on the pitch but off it for us at the time. So for me, Sunday is a massive test, not just for City, but even for us as a way of, you know, we need to reassert ourselves in these big meetings, because in the last season, obviously, we didn't win as many.
Yeah, it feels like one of them as well, where you know, depending on what side of the fence you're on here, like you can talk up either side and do down the other one a little bit. So, you know, City will be saying, you know, you said you feel like you can get at them a little bit, but they'll be saying, well, listen, you know, like Arsenal, Chelsea and Norwich don't even have a shot on target against us. You know, we yet, have they conceded yet? No, they've conceded 1, haven't they, in the Premier League so far? Whereas, you know, on the other side of the coin, we've scored the most in the Premier League so far, 15 goals. So it sort of feels like, you know, like something's got to give. But equally, and I think you're sort of touched on it already, you kind of feel like both sides will have the chances and have their opportunities, and it's about who takes them and then where the game goes from there. So, you know, there's that famous Guardiola quote, isn't there, about it being a bugger of a ground. And he talks, I think it was in that interview where he says, you know, it can feel as though like, you know, their players are bigger than yours and they're getting everything and they're on top of you. And that's that atmosphere, that's that bear pit stuff. But, you know, for that to really be ignited, we need to get ahead, we need to get a goal. If it goes the other way and they frustrate us, which they're obviously going to try and do, then that's how you tame the atmosphere, and that's how you get at Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, the first goal is most definitely key on Sunday, and obviously in an ideal scenario for us, we go ahead early on like we have done against them in the past, because that's where we've hurt them. As I mentioned, the Champions League game, the 4-3 and the 3-1, all our big wins against them, Liverpool have scored early on, so then they can't handle it. Whereas with that 4-3, they equalised at half-time, just right on half-time. Obviously, you know, we then hit them with another spell in the second half where we just got the 3 goals, and that was us, you know, barring the late fight back. And then on top of that, it's the whole thing is these games are very frenetic between Liverpool and Man City. Even the 0-0 to an extent was still quite frenetic when Mahrez misses the penalty late on. So it's just all about how both sides manage that fast start.
All right, the Reds, thanks very much for getting stuck into that little snippet there of Anfield Wrap content. If you want the rest of that show and much more besides, click the link below, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap Premium, and for that you will get reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, post-match content, the full it. Get involved, follow us, follow them from the heart of Liverpool. Up the Reds.